What's up guys, NJ here, and we are having a look at a frame by a new company here in the UK called HaloRC, and this kit, this frame is called the Archon. Now this is a pre-production frame. The person who runs this company, owns it, is a guy called Bloods FPV, and if you've been a subscriber of mine for a little while you'll probably know the name. If you remember, a while back I did a video on how to custom paint the Tyrannus X9D, and I also showed off some really nice custom logo inlays. They were also produced by Bloods, and he still sells those over on his web store, so I'll make sure I link those in the description for you. Anyway, for the last 6 months or maybe longer, I think now, he has been working really passionately hard on trying to bring his own quad design to the table, and I think what he's done is really something quite special. So there's a lot to talk about with this kit, but what I'm going to do is we'll build this frame up, and then we can talk about all the various features of it as we go. What I can tell you from a quick overview here, we have a lower, middle and a top plate which are all 1.5mm thick, and we have two 1.5mm side plates for the camera pod, and then here we have some really beautiful looking and very interestingly designed 4mm arms with chamfered edges. You know I'm a big fan of that, and this carbon, these parts are actually cut and produced by Archon, and you'll know that they make some real premium quads, very well known and trusted company, so we're dealing with some really decent stuff here. So yeah, let's get on to the build and we'll talk about this more as we go. So there are a few ways to approach this, but I think what I'm going to do is just build up this camera pod first. You can see these two side plates go into these two cutout slots on the top plate, so let's get the standoffs in and build that pod up. One nice thing you can see here is the addition of this extra piece just to double up the wall thickness on the front here. Now this is a great way of strengthening up the front for any kind of frontal impacts, so really nice little neat idea there. The other thing that Bloods pointed out to me was that the standoff placements aren't just an accident of design. They're there to make sure that the camera maxes at 55 degrees and its minimum is 25 degrees. So even in a hard impact there's no chance of the camera going all the way down and you being unable to fly because your camera's pointing at the ground, and we've all had that after a hard impact. And it maxes out at 55 degrees, which is plenty even for the most insane forward speeds, and especially if you're running a wider lens like I do on a 2.1, that's a really good range. Also, this curve has been designed so it follows that camera lens round and offers the same amount of protection no matter where the position of that lens. Okay, so that's the top part assembled. Let's move on to the lower plates. So this is a really cool idea. I don't know if you can make that out, but these are the nuts that go on the other side of the bolts that go through these four holes here for the flight stack. Now, can you make out they've actually got little teeth on the inside? So unlike a traditional nut where you've got the flat sides, you'll actually screw through, and then these teeth will actually compress and grip into the carbon. So it's really nice sort of low profile solution, and they're kind of got almost like a self-tapping property to them. Very, very neat indeed. So there we now have that lower deck complete. You can see those nice low profile spacers for putting your PDB down, and then having enough to put your vibration dampeners on top of that. Yeah, really like the way this is looking so far. Let's now add the top section and see what's to do next. So there it is, all built up, and I have to say it looks absolutely beautiful. And there's just some really great little engineering ideas here. We've talked about the extra support on the front here to stiffen that up for a frontal impact. On the same subject of hitting things front on, and I've done this personally with my own quads, often there will be one motor can that will end up taking the brunt of the force, and you'll end up bending it backwards or bending the shaft of the motor and wiping it out. Now that's exactly what this talon is at the front here. This is pointing forward, and the reason it's hollow here is it's designed to break. This piece here, in a very, very hard impact, is designed to crack and break away, which has a much better chance of saving your motor by taking the actual impact there. And also, by having these kind of break-off points, there's less chance of you splitting or delaminating the arm. So the chances are this might break, but it'll save your motor, and it'll probably save the arm, so you can get up and finish your race or finish flying for the day. And it'll be far cheaper just to change an arm. So yeah, great design idea there. Some of the other features that are really nice, you've got lots of space at the back here, and you've got lots of space behind the camera, easily enough to fit a capacitor and buzzer, and maybe even some other things like the chroma LED board. You notice on one of my builds I used the chroma kit, and the board with its, it's a fair chunk, so it's nice you've got room back there to fit things. And you've also got plenty of room in the back part of the deck here, and you can see the zip tie cutouts, they're all over this, which is again brilliant. I love to see that. It gives you lots of mounting options for your receiver and your VTX and any other electronics you want to run in there too. Now another thing worth pointing out is this accompanying GoPro mount. Now Bloods has said that this will be available as a free download as an STL file should you want to print your own, but he will also sell them on the store if you want to pick one up when you order your quad. And you can see these little TPU printed parts here that come with the kit. Those are kind of spacers so that this back section can sit in there, and then this will go round the top standoff for it to brace and sit in the top there. Another nice little feature on this top plate, you can see it's nice and slim around the waist, so that the battery strap, when it comes in through here, will have a nice angle to come up and brace that battery. So you don't want it to be bracing from way out here. That would make the brake angle not so good for keeping the battery in its place, so that's really nice. And then you can see these little lugs here. This is for a second battery strap, and these lugs prevent that battery strap from slipping backwards. Again, all little things you might not notice on first glance, but they're all a really good sign of just how much attention to detail has been paid to this quad. And in fact, Bloods has said that the grip is so good using two battery straps here that he doesn't believe you need to run a foam pad on top. And that's also one of the reasons why he then chose to go for this kind of spine approach and remove a little more material to help keep the weight respectable. He's also told me that in crash testing he has yet to break one of these top plates. So again, great testament to the fact that good engineering and structural strength definitely wins over just going for thicker carbon. These are 1.5mm plates, and it is absolutely strong as a tank. So we are coming in at 113 grams, so 13 grams over that kind of 100 gram ballpark, but I can definitely forgive it 13 grams for considering how incredibly strong that structure is and how much space we've got to work in as well for component placement. And remember, this isn't that ultralight race frame. This is designed to be able to, freestyle with the best of them, but be a real super tank at the same time. So yeah, I think that's really kind of right on the money. So where and when will this be available? Look, I'll put a link in the description leading you over to HaloRC's website. There'll be an email there if you want to know more about this, or if you want to register for when these start taking pre-orders or when they're going to be shipping. I strongly suggest you go over and do that. As far as this one goes, I'm going to be doing a build video on it once I've decided what components I want to put into it. So we'll do a full build video and then we shall go out and absolutely tear it around the sky. But I'm very excited to get this in the air. I think it's a really beautiful frame, lots of thought has gone into it, and you know, some great engineering decisions. I'm really impressed with this indeed, and this is all one guy, so hats off to Bloods on this one. As I always say, got a passion, make it happen. This guy has definitely done that, so top marks from me. Okay guys, I shall see you in the next one.